Federal elections were held in Belgium on May 25, 2014. All 150 members of the Chamber of Representatives were elected, whereas the Senate was no longer directly elected following the 2011 and 2012 state reform. These were the first elections held under King Philippe's reign. Date: as part of the state reform adopted December 19, 2013, the date of election will from now on coincide with the European elections, which the Council of the EU has scheduled for 22 May 25, 2014. The regional elections in Belgium already legally coincide with the European elections, consequently Belgians will vote for 3 elections on the same day. Background and reforms since last election. The previous 2010 election resulted in a victory for Flemish nationalist N-VAR. The coalition formation stalemate went on for a record-breaking 541 days. Eventually, the negotiating parties agreed upon a 6th Belgian state reform and the DRUPO government was finally formed on December 6, 2011 and comprised PS, Mr., CD and V, Open VLD, SPA and CDH. The state reform has the following consequences for the election in 2014. The controversial electoral constituency of Brussels-Halle-Vilvoorde no longer exists. Rather, each province plus the federal capital now has its own constituency, and voter discrimination has been abolished. The Senate will no longer be directly elected. The term length will be increased from 4 years to 5 years, and the election will always coincide with the European Parliament election. Election campaign. The campaign topics largely focused on socio-economic reforms, job creation and unemployment, tax reform, pensions. This campaign also featured an unprecedented level of quantified programs by political parties. For example, the NVA released its V plan, and CD and V its 3D plan. 1 week before the election day, former CD and V Prime Minister Jean-Luc Dehaene suddenly died while in France. Several debates were cancelled, and CD and V as well as all other Flemish parties suspended their campaign for a few days. Jewish Museum shooting. On May 24, the day before the elections, a shooting occurred at the Belgian Jewish Museum in Brussels, with 3 people reported dead. Self-described anti-Zionist MP Laurent Louis suggested that the attack could be a false flag operation seeking to discredit him and his political party on the eve of the elections. Political parties. Current situation. In 2010, 10 parties won seats in the Belgian Senate. Christen Democratische Envlems, Centered daar Copyright Mocrate Humanist, Socialistische Partij Anders, Party Socialist, Open VLD, Movement Ra Copyright Formateur, Gran, Ecolo, New Flemish Alliance and Vlaams Belang. In the Chamber of Representatives, the People's Party and Libertarian, Direct, Democratic each also won 1 seat. During the legislation, the Francophone Democratic Federalists separated from the Mr. Party and are now represented in the chamber with 3 representatives, but have no senators. The PP Member of Parliament left the party and became an independent. 1 Vlaams Belang member of the chamber and 1 Vlaams Belang member of the Senate left their party and decided to become independents. Thus, currently the 10 major parties are represented in both the chamber and the Senate. In addition, LDD and FDF are represented in the Chamber of Representatives. However, most of the major parties only operate in the Dutch-speaking or in the French-speaking constituencies. Voters who live in the provinces of Antwerp, East Flanders, Flemish Brabant, Limburg or West Flanders can only vote for CD and V, Gran, NVA, Open VLD, SPA and Vlaams Belang, apart from the minor parties except when a French-speaking party would present a list in one of these provinces, which has not happened except for an FDF and a PP list in Flemish Brabant. In the provinces of Hainaut, Lia-Ge, Luxembourg, Namur and Walloon Brabant, voters can only vote for CDH, Ecolo, Mr and PS, apart from the minor parties except when a Dutch-speaking party would present a list in one of these provinces, which has not happened in this elections. In the constituency of Lia-Ge, the German-speaking parties CSP, Ecolo, PFF and SP all form one list with their French-speaking counterparts. The name of these lists only mention the French-speaking party. Therefore, the CSP politicians are on the CDH list, the Ecolo ones on the Ecolo list, PFF on the Mr. list and SP on the PS list. The other German-speaking parties do not present a list due to their marginal chance of getting a seat in Parliament. In the constituency of Brussels Capital, Ecolo and Gron formed one list under the name Ecolo. CD and B, NVA, Open VLD, SPA and Vlaams-Belang will each present a single list. LDD only presented a list in West Flanders. FDF presented a list in all Walloon constituencies, in Brussels Capital and in Flemish Brabant. PVDA-PTB presented a list in all 11 constituencies of Belgium, making it one of the few parties which are represented in the whole of Belgium. Main candidates: Dutch-speaking constituency, French-speaking constituency, opinion polling. The results of the opinion polls are usually split into separate numbers for the 3 Belgian regions. Below, they are transposed to national figures. Results. At the Flemish side, Vlaams-Belang and LDD suffered major losses. Their votes went to NVA, which increased its position as largest party. CD and B, Open VLD and Gron gained slightly as well, while SPA lost slightly. At the French-speaking side, PS, CDH and Ecolo suffer losses while Mr. gained as well as newcomers PTB Go and FDF. In detail, government formation. On May 27, King Philippe nominated Bart de Wever as informator, meaning he is tasked with finding enough points of agreement for a possible coalition. After 5 months of discussions, a coalition of 4 parties came to agreement on October 7 with Walloon Charles Michel as Prime Minister. Yet it is a Flanders-focused coalition that excludes socialists from the government for the first time in 26 years. Michel would be Belgium's youngest Prime Minister after the 28 hours of discussions over achieving a balanced budget by 2018. The announcement was made by party colleague and Budget Minister Olivier Chastel on Twitter. Charles Michel becomes Prime Minister. References. External links, 2014 elections, Belgium B.